Hi guys, I'm Woodcraft Hamster and I thought I'd do another quick video for you today on a new piece of kit that I've picked up, and it's an accessory for my GoPro. I've been looking around recently at sort of extras that I could maybe pick up that would help me out for filming, and one of the problems I've found is that usually I will use my mobile phone with Bluetooth onto the camera so that I can basically have a viewfinder. And if I'm out for a day, it tends to drain my battery quite quickly. So I've been having a look around. You've got the GoPro LCD backpack, which slots on the back of the camera, gives you a little viewfinder. Problem being that doesn't fit in the standard housing, which essentially means that the camera's no longer waterproof, which didn't really work for me. But what I did find, doing a little bit of research, is this. Now this is the Removu R1 Plus, and it is a sort of standalone viewfinder. Now what I'll do, I'll bring the camera a bit closer in a second, I'll show you how it works, but essentially this just gives you a movable LCD screen. It's not attached to the camera, so you can, obviously there's a strap on this, so you can strap it to your wrist, or you can just hold it in your hand, and it just means you can see what you're doing. You can frame up your shots a little bit better without having to do a little bit of guesswork. But as I say, I'll bring the camera a bit closer, guys, and I'll show you how this works. Right then guys, so I've got my GoPro here turned on, Bluetooth is on, and all I need to do here is just turn on the Removu. So I'll show you that as it's starting up. So you get the startup screen, Removu R1 Plus, and what it should do in a moment is pick up the Bluetooth on my GoPro. It's thinking about it. It's not the quickest system in the world, I must admit, but for the benefit I get for it, it's actually really good. So you can just about see on the camera here. Let me see if I can get that so you can actually see what we're looking at. So there's a little bit of glare on this, but essentially you can now see me on this screen, and the benefit this gives me is that I can now use this to line up my shots. I can see exactly where I'm going. If I want to mount this up onto a tree, or I'm using a tripod, or even using like a selfie stick or one of the other accessories, it basically means that I can see exactly what I'm doing on this GoPro. One of the downsides of these cameras that I've found is that if you don't have something like this, or you don't link it up to your phone, essentially what's going to happen is you're guessing at what you're looking at. Now it's got quite a good wide angle lens, so you're probably going to get yourself in shot, but last thing you want to do is spend a day's worth of footage and find that half of it you've chopped off your own head or something like that. So again, as I say, this can be worn on the wrist, so you can kind of keep it here as you're going around doing things. Use a quick glance, and you can see kind of what's set up. Alternatively, I mean, the way I've been using it is just literally having it in my hand like this, and I can have this, like I say, on a tripod or on a selfie pole or on one of the sort of the chest or head straps, and it just lets me see what I'm doing. But for what this cost me, I think this was essentially this cost me, I think it was about £70, so it's not a cheap bit of kit by any means, but actually the benefit it gives me is really useful. Now I'll bring this a bit closer up so hopefully you can see. Let me see if I can stop that glare. You can kind of see what I'm looking at, but essentially, so you've got two battery displays here. You've got the one at the top, which is the GoPro battery itself. That's a really useful feature, so it basically tells me how much battery I'm using on the GoPro. The one down the bottom is the battery for this unit itself. You can use, there's a lot of settings on this which I won't bore you and go through, but essentially you can change all of your modes. You can move over to camera mode, you can change all of your video settings, so you can do your frame rate, your camera angle, or the lens angle should I say. You can change for all of the quality, so you can go up, from this camera you can go from 4K all the way down to 720, and that can all be done from here. And the benefit for this, and one of the reasons I bought it, was because I quite often like to use the GoPro on a either a head strap or a chest strap, and it's just a real pain trying to take it off, change your settings, come back and then start filming again. So you can do everything from here, which is a really nice little touch. So yeah, I mean, as I say guys, really happy with it. I apologise for the glare on this. I can't seem to get this at the right angle where you can see everything properly, but essentially, hopefully you can see me at least a little bit on this. And if I move this round, it's all real time, so you can see everything that the GoPro is seeing. Right then guys, well that was it. It was just a really quick short video just to show you this this new toy. Hopefully, as I said a little while back, I plan on starting using this GoPro more for some of my bushcraft videos, especially some of the outdoors stuff. As I said, I'm still sort of learning how this GoPro works as I go along, so hopefully in a few weeks' time or so I'll at least have enough knowledge to be able to take it out and get some fairly decent shots with it, hopefully. But as I say, if you're thinking about getting something like this, I highly recommend it. I've been using it for a short while now, and it basically does what it says on the tin. It gives you a viewfinder, if you like. It gives you a screen that you can see what you're actually seeing through your GoPro, which I think is really useful. You can play around with settings on it so that if you have got it strapped to your wrist and the GoPro is not particularly accessible, whether it's on your head, on a chest strap, whether it's at the end of a selfie stick, or you've got a tripod that's a little way away, you don't want to have to keep getting up and going back, I find it really, really useful. So anyway guys, comments and questions in the box below. Hit like and subscribe if you'd like to see more, and I hope you'll all join me next time. Thanks guys.